Hey.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry. Technical difficulties. My bad. This. Gracious.
Oh, yeah. Oh, welcome to a Pinch of Basil show. It's October 20th. And do you know how I know that? I have no clue. I just looked at the calendar. It's October 20th.
No bills to pay, huh?
No bills to pay today.
Hey, baby.
We have changed our show for the better. And it is the best radio podcast show ever. That's right. I do mean that. I want to bring you fantastic guests who are the movers.
Except for mine.
Oh, of course, except for yours, naturally. And we know how you roll. I told JR how you roll. So anyway.
Hey.
I want
to bring you fantastic guests who are the movers and shakers around the world in the news, entertainment, sports, politics, from all over the world. Listen, hey, I'm Basil, your bundle of love. That's right, I am your bundle of love with my other brother from another mother bundle of love, engineer and co-host JR Quitman, and our ever so lovely lady of the show and co-host who really keeps us in line when JR and I get out of hand. And she really is the brains behind the show, to be quite honest with you. Janice Hermson. JR, Janice, how y'all doing?
Good. About yourself?
Oh, man, I'm good. Janice?
Man, I'm hanging in there. I'm not dancing like you, though.
I'm in the mood. You know what I've been listening to all day? I've been listening to the theme of The Midnight Cowboy from the movie back in the late 60s, maybe early 70s. And it has made me so melancholy today. I was just working all day in front of my computer, and then it's so sad. I get teary-eyed when I think about that movie. And I don't know if anyone out there is listening right now, if you know what I'm talking about, The Midnight Cowboy with the harmonica playing. And so, oh my God, it get a little bit crazy. Hey, we got Harry Bafalukos is on there with us, and Andy Kuprunandis is with us. Folks, listen, let me just tell you what's going on. We're streaming this show, this bad boy, live. We're broadcasting all over. We're on Facebook at Basil Fans. That's right. We're on Twitch at A Pinch of Basil. We're on YouTube at Basil the Comedian. You're going to wind up seeing our icon, A Pinch of Basil. And then, to be honest with you, listen, of course, through Anchor, because Anchor basically is on like 8 different podcast outlets, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And let's not forget Greek Beat Radio that takes this bad boy all over the world for us through, and I'm talking live, man, live. We talk all the way to Australia, South Africa, all throughout Europe, live in London on an FM station and on various radio stations around the world. And let us not forget, Central and South America, North America. We're all over the place, man. That's all there's to it.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, I think covers it. It covers it. You know what? And tell people what they need to do. There's Greek Beat Radio.
I was a little late.
Yeah, just a touch. Just a touch. It's okay, man. You know I still love you.
I hope so. But hey, you know what? Since we're streaming on all these platforms and everything, the YouTube, the Facebook, all that good. So let me bring that music back on up a little bit. Oh yeah, that baby making music. That's it. Get down low with it. Yeah, baby. This is, I heard that Janice loves this and listens to this song every other hour.
Every other. You got it. Every other.
I would, it's a great song. Thank you too. Hey, this song is provided to us by my friend TK Turbo. I used to work with at the TV station.
Yo, TK Turbo, let me tell you something, TK. Give him a big plug because this is actually really good. Hey, Nick Singelis is listening. Bobby Floropoulos. Nick Singelis said he's also, because he loves the new porn music in the beginning. Thank you so much. And then Nick said,
thank you for that. Yes, we love that.
He wants to know, are you still playing with your dolls? I'm sorry, action figures.
Hey, look, after this show, we might have to meet outside. We ain't just gonna be talking about our action figures like that. I'm so sorry. They're just figures.
Okay, whatever. They're dolls, man. I'm sure you're doing. Lynn, how are you? Linda Lacus is with us. Avram Antonakos. Avram is still waiting from something, isn't he, Janice?
Oh, I know, Avram. You have to forgive me.
We're so hot right now. I mean, we got things to do. Trust me, we're going to take your money. Don't you worry about a thing.
Me and Nick are going to tag team.
I've been on assignment for a couple of weeks.
Oh, my God. How long are you going to be in assignment? Nick Singela says we can drop him. Yeah, you probably
we'll tag team you. Not prison style, but we'll tag team.
No, it's all right. You know what? I got Janice on my side. I surrendered. She may be late getting to me, but she'll be there. Don't worry about a thing. Listen, and of course, as always, I love to hear from you, my listeners. I really do. All over the world, you can comment as we're talking about, and we'll even answer. Our guests love hearing from you as well. You can call in with our toll-free number at 844-523-2633. Like I said, we really want to hear from you, my special listeners. So I want you guys to come on board. Yeah. Listen, I don't know what else I can do. You can email us at info@apinchofbasil. Make sure you email us. A lot of people have been asking where I've been. Hey, I want to thank all the wonderful people last weekend. Man, I was at Youngstown, Ohio. I want a big shout out. I got a chance to go out to dinner with Ray Boom Boom Mancini, his lovely wife, Tina. They took me out. Cool. It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. And I want to thank all the media outlets for having me as well. That was wonderful. That was just, fantastic.
You had a little media scrum there?
Man, I had media, man. I was doing television. I was doing, podcasts, radio shows. I was all over the place, man. Sold out shows. It was great, man. I loved it. And also the people from the Pan Gregorian, what a wonderful event they put out. They gave over almost 30 scholarships to kids, college kids, of $2,500 a piece. It was just unbelievable, man. I just so much respect for that group. And they're the suppliers, the restaurant suppliers that supply all the foods and everything. I don't know how these guys do that. Hey, concert dates. Listen, don't forget, October 23rd, I'll be in Wilmington, North Carolina for the 75th Gala. That's right, 75th Gala for St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church. November 6th, I'll be at St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church that was St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church growing up, and that's in Cleveland, Ohio. November 18th through the 20th, I'll be at the Funny Stop Comedy Club in Cuyahoga Falls. December 10th in Edison, New Jersey for the AHEPA Comedy Night. That's December 4th in Edison. December 10th, I'll be in Arlington, Mass. at St. Barbara's, a Greek Orthodox Church. You want to find out more, just go to BasileLive.com. The man is showing it to you right there. You can get tickets from there. You can get whatever you want. And then, hey, fundraisers, corporate events, private holiday parties. You can have me, Basil, a pinch of basil. That's right. Oh, that's right. Make sure you come and see me. That's right.
What was that?
Yeah.
We don't want to know.
I don't know about all that.
We do not want to know.
Listen, man. Listen. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Hey, listen, man. You ever see me? I climb trees. I throw crap at you and eat bananas. I do it all. Oh,
funny story. So funny. Yeah. To get up, but since you're talking about monkeys and everything,
yeah.
Mom, growing up, they had a pet monkey. I don't know what kind or whatever.
Your mom?
My mom, yeah. Wow. So they had a pet monkey growing up, and she said they would keep it in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
But when the ladies, when the girls would go to the bathroom, it would sit over in the cage and do its thing while they're going to the bathroom.
No. Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah. Just like he said, eat. Do it.
Well, oh my God! What was it, like a little rhesus monkey, or was it a?
I think the little pet ones that people walk around with them on their shoulders and stuff like. I have no idea what kind. But yeah, I'll never forget that story for sure. And you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. No, I just it's a fun fact. I think it's a fun fact that we all need to know about. Listen, look, Mel's mom, JR's mom actually had a monkey. That actually touched himself while the women were going to the bathroom. Now, what about the men? What about the men when they would go to the bathroom? Not so much when he turned his head.
Not so much. Yeah, I guess it wasn't interested. I guess it wasn't interested in the men.
Certainly not a gay monkey. That's for sure.
Right. It knew its pronoun. That monkey knew its pronoun. Sure.
All right. Listen, a few minutes. Our guest will be my good friend, Congressman Gus Bilirakis. Congressman Gus Bilirakis, for the Center of Effective Lawmaking ranked him Florida's most effective House Republican from Palm Harbor, representing Florida's 12th Congressional District. Gus and I will be discussing the stimulus package. We'll be discussing panic in the southern border, COVID-19 mandatory vaccines, the HD-1 supersonic aircraft carrier killer by China that was just announced, USA security stimulus packages, and issues with shortages. He'll be on in about just a few minutes. We'll be talking with him. And listen, look, you may not agree with his politics, but I'm going to tell you right now, you have a chance to ask him questions. Be respectful, ask him questions, and it doesn't really matter, man. He wants to hear from all points of view, and that's what I love about the dude. He is a moderate Republican. I've had him on my show. Janice and I have had him on our show many times. We had.
I'm French.
We. It means yes. Or if it's the monkey, it's peeing all over the place. We. So anyway, he'll be with us shortly. And you got questions? Ask. Please. You know, everyone's afraid. Oh, no, I just don't like this. Ask. That's what we want you to do, is ask. And what we try to do is be fair all across the board. And that's what I was trying to do. And I got to be honest with you, man. He's a real righteous dude. This is the first time you've ever met him, and you're going to love him. He's just a very, very cool dude.
Hey, look, just to bring I haven't heard a real righteous dude in a long time.
Oh, righteous dude, man.
Righteous dude.
That's the way I roll.
Man. He's rad, man.
Yeah, no, that's the way I roll, man. That's just the way it is, you know.
That was good.
Really, Janice?
Rad. I like it.
He's a rad. He's a real righteous dude, man.
You know what? I don't need y'all. I can do this show my own. I got technical know-how. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a mouse. Okay, hold on. Oh my God! No, I can't do this show without you, man. It's all you.
Look, my brother. Look, okay, my brother. See, my brother commented our mom's monkey's name was Tonk.
Tonk?
Yep.
Are you serious?
There's a card game called Tonk, and it's a very good card game called Tonk, by the way. That I was known for running the table on some Tonk. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so.
Thank you, man. So love you.
Was there a Tonk, like a Tonk superhero or something like that? You know, that was out there. Was there?
I don't know why the name was Tonk, but yeah, that was.
You were trying to say like truck, like Tonka truck, and you forgot the A at the end.
I don't think I was. No, I wasn't around then. It was when she was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they might.
There were no Tonka trucks when you were born. When you were young, you didn't have a Tonka truck.
Yeah, I had Tonka truck, man. Oh, you know what? I had G.I. Joe, He-Man, and I had a My Buddy doll.
Yeah, I
too.
know. All the dolls. Yeah, you had all the dolls.
All the dolls. He probably had more than I did, right?
Hey, no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Oh look, my brother commented he was a squirrel monkey. He would throw poop at you. Also, I remember that. I remember hearing that.
My dolls didn't do that.
Oh yeah. Barbie did. You just couldn't. No. Barbie would fart, and shit. They just don't fart because women don't do that. All right,
that's right. You got it.
We got Andy is with us. Harry, Lynn. Let me see what else we got. Nixon Gellis. All right. We got a lot of people listening tonight, man. I'm loving it. Jerry Campbell is with us. All right, Jerry, way to join in. And Bam Davis is here.
That's my brother.
That's your brother. Bam, let me tell you something, man. It takes a man to admit that he plays with dolls and stuff like that. And your brother has certainly come to admit. I'm sorry, action figures.
Here we go, Nick. You see what I'm saying, Nick? You had no respect. You know what I mean?
Manny Miliotis is listening. My good buddy Manny Miliotis, Vicky Fellas de Crone is with us as well. So we're going to be bringing on Congressman Gus Bilirakis anymore. Is he with us? Is he here?
He's with us.
Is he? Well, let me give him the bio first before you bring him on, because I don't want him to interrupt, because he's always like, Congressman Gus Bilirakis, Republican from Palm Harbor, representing Florida's 12th Congressional District, which includes all of Pasco and northern parts of Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. He was first elected to Congress on November 7th, 2006. Gus served on the Energy Committee and Commerce Committee. He is the ranking member of the Consumer Protection and Commerce Subcommittee. So we're going to ask him a lot of information about what's going on with all the shipping issues and everything that's going on. A member of the Health Subcommittee and Communications and Technology Subcommittees. With 38 bills he authored, signed into law since 2015. Congressman Bilirakis was recently designated as the most effective Republican lawmaker in the state of Florida by the Center for Effective Lawmaking at Vanderbilt University. Working on his bipartisan manner, his main priorities include controlling government spending. Oh, God, good luck with that. Creating jobs for middle-class Americans, finding ways for government to operate smaller and smarter, lowering taxes. He also is committed to strengthening homeland security, improving education, increasing access to quality health care, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, and protecting veterans' benefits, ensuring the long-term viability of Social Security and Medicare, and improving emergency preparedness and response. Ladies and gentlemen, my good buddy, whom I love, Congressman Gus Bilirakis. Oh, my God, Gus, could you make the screen any thinner? Mother of God.
I'm not very good at technology, man.
Evidently. Thank God.
I got the Zoom to work.
As soon as you find out, all right, forget it. I'm not even going to go there. But Gus, listen, buddy, good to have you back. It's been a while. First of all, how are you doing? How's your family doing? How's everyone?
Pretty good, Basil. You know, I just got back from Greece.
Yes,
actually.
you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah, and it was a fun time. But I met with a lot of public officials. It was supposed to be a vacation, but it wasn't a vacation. But I got a chance to see a good family, and I met with the Prime Minister and a former Prime Minister and some of the public officials, the governor in the area where our islands are Basil, where our grandparents came from.
Right.
And he actually gave me the opportunity to make a statement how the U.S. is going to back Greece if there's any issues with sovereignty. And, of course, we're speaking of Turkey. The provocations, air rights, but even threatening to take some of the islands. We're not going to let them do that over our dead body.
Yeah, not at all.
And then there was an agreement, signed an extension of an agreement on Monday after I got back by the State Department saying the same thing.
Right.
That we will protect Greece's sovereignty. So it was really very productive. And again, I spoke with the Prime Minister about a lot of issues, particularly, the COVID issue and how we can be helpful. But and I got to see family and family I hadn't seen in a long time. So it was a very productive trip, enjoyable, exhausting, and I ate all day, Basil. They were giving me. I actually, Basil, I had my breakfast, and then we went on a little trip around the island, and they stopped at a restaurant. They had all this food prepared for me.
Oh, geez, man.
It was 10 o'clock in the morning, but I didn't want to offend them.
Yeah, of course not. That's why I'm as big as I am. I don't want to offend people.
Exactly. We're gentlemen. So, so everywhere we went, we ate, and of course, they give you a little glass of ouzo. Well, what are you going to do?
You got to drink it. Hey,
That
Gus, let me
nice
ask you a quick question to get a better shot at you. You want to turn maybe your camera sideways and see if that gives you a better.
Now I'm upside down, Basil. Basil, I'm upside down, for crying out loud. I'd rather be right side up.
I want you right side up too.
He set you up to fail. What's up with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand over.
This is why Basil does not do the directing. No directing by Basil.
Yeah, we'll go over that another time with JR. Nonetheless,
that's right.
Well, first of all, I heard, Gus, to be quite honest with you, that basically there were 24 incidences today on actual Turkish jets flying over into Greek airspace.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, and I, my answer is, well, blow one out of the sky, and guess what? They really won't be doing that again.
Well, listen, you can't take any chances to see whether they're just bluffing or not.
Right.
So the Greek army, as a matter of fact, I visited with a general who came to my office in D.C. yesterday. He's a general of the Greek army. I don't know what his chief of staff. He's the head of the army, really. Mm-hmm. And we talked about those issues, and it is a serious threat, and the Greeks do take it seriously. And the prime minister, last year when President Trump was still in office, I discussed it with him. And he called the prime minister and told the prime minister, look, what do you need for me to do? And, of course, the prime minister told him, call Erdogan to stay the hell away from Greece, because if they do provoke us, if they do threaten us, then we're going to have to fight back.
Yeah.
So, but nobody wants a war. So anyway, it's a bad neighborhood, very dangerous neighborhood. But other than Turkey, Greece has a lot of good friends in that area, particularly in the Middle East, really, with Israel and Egypt and Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. So in any case, they've done a good job in that area. But Turkey has always been a problem, and will continue to be as long as we have people like Erdogan running that country.
True.
And he wants to be the next Sultan.
And, well, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, but I guess the one question that I do have, speaking of military, how the hell the CIA missed this, I don't know. But when you have China boasting this new HD-1 supersonic aircraft killer that they're discussing, that can go basically undetected. Yeah. The only way to really kill it is through the SDI initiative. When I worked in D.C. back in the day, that was Ronald Reagan's baby starting Star Wars, where you're blasting that basically right out of the sky when it goes into space. So, but does it go into space? And that's the one question that I have. And how the hell did our CIA miss that?
Well, unfortunately, we're not as competent as we used to be. And, we need something like the Iron Dome and Star Wars to be prepared. Look at Israel. They had the rockets flying in from Gaza on a regular basis, and of course, they had issues a few months ago, and because of the Iron Dome that was actually manufactured here in the United States, they prevented a lot of deaths. So and also the Iron Dome, because of the protection, because of the defense system, it actually prevents deaths over there in the Palestinian areas as well. So, that's a huge threat. You can't trust that government, that communist government in China. There's no question. And we need to be looking into this stuff. And it is I can't answer the question why we missed it. Now, I haven't had any intelligence briefings on this particular, but more than likely I will.
Yeah.
So,
but
when it's classified, I can't divulge the information anyhow. So.
Not even on the Pinch of Basil show? Gus, what the hell?
Not even the Pinch of Basil show. No, sorry, Basil.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, listen, I'll do anything in the world for you, but I can't divulge classified information.
You're good.
Hey, Basil, we do have a question from the audience as well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. This is from Dark Sage 9117. In recent months and years, America has seen a rise in hate speech from both Democrats and Republicans. Both sides seem to want to compare events of today to the Holocaust in the 30s Germany. I'm very disturbed by these comparisons. I'm curious, Mr. Bilirakis, what do you have to say to candidates who continue to run with this issue? And what specifically would you do if elected to help fight back against candidates who use this hateful rhetoric?
Well, we need to condemn them, but also what we need to do is do our own research and actually know the issues, know the character of the individual, okay, and vote against these people. I will tell you, and it is happening on both sides. There's no question. There's a lot of the polarization in this country has never been worse, as far, in my opinion. Now, we get along in Congress, but the leadership does not. And the leadership is not encouraging us to work together and build consensus. Now, I was named as the most bipartisan member of Congress 2 consecutive terms in Florida. Okay, so, I try to build consensus, and it's been successful for me. Now, don't get me wrong, we should debate, and I think that this is what I don't feel that we can agree on everything because we disagree.
Sure.
I mean, there are a lot of members on the other side of the aisle that want to make this country another Europe. Okay? They honestly consider themselves socialists. Bernie Sanders, Democrats.
Perfect
There
example.
are Democrats that are moderates that I can work with on a regular basis, and I do. And a lot of the issues that we do work on are not partisan anyhow. So yeah, the voter has to do the research, and don't just look at the sound bites, look at the credible information, the source, like Basil, Pinch of Basil. It's a hell of a source. And
that's right. You tell them, Gus.
That's right. So
now that I'm a part of it, it is.
Oh, mother of God! Here we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
Especially now that you're a part of it. Okay. But if the people, like, for example, we have a lot of people on the right and the left that communicate with us. Okay. And unfortunately, they want us to argue amongst each other. Now, there's nothing wrong with debating. All right. But sticking to the issues. But we're all Americans, and we are one. We're Americans. We're Americans first, okay? And we have to act like that. So
yeah,
this is the way I feel. But the middle, the centrists, or the let's say the centrists, the mainstream, okay? So center right, center left. They need to be more involved. And just like this particular person that asked the questions, this is a great question. But we have to have more people that advocate for normalcy and away from the polarization that's taking place in this country, because it's not good for the country.
No, not at all. And the thing is, what kills me is people just want to bam label you. Before, when we were all kids, and JR is probably the youngest of the bunch. When we were all kids, our family, I still remember Thanksgiving and times when we all got together, and there would be arguments.
Yeah,
it could be anything from race relations to politics to economy, whatever the economy, what it was. And you know what? At the end, we all got up, hugged, kissed, said goodnight.
Well, we loved each other.
Yeah.
We cussed each other out. I remember those holidays.
Sure.
But then in the end, we made up and we loved each other. And then don't let anyone else outside the family talk against you.
Oh, absolutely. Then it's on.
Then it's on, right?
Criticize all you want. So don't let a stranger do it, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So this is the way we got to get back to the basics. There's no question.
Go ahead, Jerry. You wanted to ask him a question?
I do. With you being, such a, down the line kind of guy with both sides, right and left, do you find it hard to maneuver your ways with the side that you represent and everything?
I can't say that I wouldn't say that I categorize myself as an extremist, but I do categorize myself as a mainstream conservative. But I like the other side. We got to start talking to each other, folks.
Yes.
And this is a good way to do it. But the social media has been a big problem. And you know, you have these websites, you know, disseminating this information that's inaccurate. Okay, people are listening to it. And then you have the talk shows on the extreme right and the extreme left. And, you know, we don't have any Walter Cronkite's left in this country. And everything's about social media, our kids. I mean, Zuckerberg wants to initiate, and he said he's going to do it. Now, we've stopped him for, at least for the time being, an Instagram for children under 13. Come on, give me a break. You're monetizing our children. All right, and they're being addicted. Now, I know there's, you know, we have to have personal responsibility as parents. But it's very, very difficult when you're working, and two parents are working, to supervise our children on social media. So I'm working on that as well. But that's a big issue as well. We're not talking to each other. The kids aren't going outside and playing like we used to. You know,
100%. I totally
we
agree.
had football games, whatever. You know, now they're on the laptop or they're on their iPhone. They're at the dinner table and they're on their iPhone. You take it away from them, they don't know what to do. It's so a serious problem.
It's so true. Well, we always say at our home, when we say at our home, sometimes I even take the phone to the table, and my daughter and my wife, who says, "Hey, hang up and hang out."
Good for you.
You know, and that's what we do. And yeah, look, it's a great tool. Social media for business is a great tool.
Yeah.
For it's a great tool, but it's
also good for families. You know what? Like if you have a family member that lives, you know, outside your state, or an elderly person where they can connect with their grandchildren, what have you. But otherwise, man, I tell you, it's changed the way we think, and not for the best as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree.
But you're right. That's the way to handle it.
Yeah, just say hang up and hang out.
Hang up, yeah.
Hang up and hang out.
I would recommend to our viewers to watch this Social Dilemma on Netflix. And it talks all about what's happening to our children, and they're monetizing the children. And I'm fighting against it now. I'm the ranking member, which means the lead Republican on consumer protection and commerce, and we have jurisdiction over Section 230. So, in any case, these platforms need to be held accountable.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, JR's got the two youngest kids out of all of us, and I know it's got to be tough, but it's even tough for my daughters who in their early 30s and early 20s.
Yeah.
And my daughter has to deal. The youngest one has to deal. She's an 8th grade teacher over at Myrtle Grove Middle School, and she's dealing with 8th graders who are tough enough, let alone, God forbid, you take away their phone and stuff like. Now, again, I think the phone's a great tool, but in this case, again, it's destructive.
You know, for our work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on it because I have to keep in touch with my constituents, and in a way, I mean, they can get to me right away. You know, Messenger and what have you. Of course, I give my telephone number out to most everyone as well. So, you know, you're accessible, but it's much easier to communicate through this stuff. But again, there's a lot of harm there, and you know, there's a sense of there's a lack of responsibility on behalf of these platforms.
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, what have you. You know, we've had them before the committee, and they have all these lawyers, and they give you lawyers' answers. Now, I'm a lawyer, okay, but you know, they're not straight with us.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I'm offended by it. So we're going to go after big tech.
As you should.
Yeah,
as you should.
Yeah.
Gus, I got to ask you some questions because you do represent the people in the greater Tampa area, and in Palm Harbor, and that's the big word, harbor. What are you doing? Because you do sit on the committee, on the subcommittee for commerce. we're trying to get these ships. There's certain things I did not know about the ships, that a lot of truckers have to work for an actual company in California to be able to unload these ships and take the ships and to get out there. How the heck can we figure out a way? I mean, you have at least 4 or 5
if there's
different...
a will, there's definitely a way.
Can we get them through the? Can we get them through the Panama Canal to cross the way?
You know, the problem is that, and I know there are a lot of union people probably listening to you, but these states aren't right to work states. That's why DeSantis is saying, "Come to Florida." We have a big problem, Basil, with the supply chain. There's no question. The shipping, the containers as well, and you know, the kids. My God forbid the kids don't get their Christmas presents. It's very sad if that's the case, if Santa Claus doesn't come. And then, you know, you can't get any lumber anymore. I was just at this interior design firm, and we had a little round table, and they brought in, of course, they can't, the backlog on the furniture, the prices in the grocery stores now have gone up. The gas prices in Florida, it's about $3. DC's $4. I understand California hit $5 a gallon. That's because we're depending on OPEC. Okay, we're depending on OPEC instead of domestic production in our country, the way it was last year, as opposed to now. We shut down the Keystone Pipeline. We're not drilling in Anwar. I mean, you got to think of, before you do this stuff, you got to think of the ramifications. What kind of effect it's going to have on these prices? These older people that are on fixed incomes, you know, food costs. It's a real issue. I think we have to reverse course in a lot of areas.
I agree with you. To this day, I don't understand why you allow Putin to go ahead and actually wind up doing the oil thing that he's doing over in Russia and throughout Europe, and then we shut down our pipeline, and then we're asking OPEC to produce more.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you do that?
OPEC, and then we're buying the gallon. We're buying the barrels. The barrels from Russia. Instead of $60 a barrel, we're paying $80 a barrel.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. This is the establishment, Basil, and it's not just Republican, Democrat. So that's why people. Now I know that some people didn't like Trump because of his the antics and the tweeting and
personality.
Stuff,
you know,
the
personality issues, right?
But he thought outside the blocks, and that's why people liked him. Because, you know, he was doing things differently. And now, you know, and I hate to get too partisan, but we've got some real problems in this country. And I think we have reasonable Democrats that we can work with and Republicans on our side. If we work together, we could really, all it is common sense, for crying out loud.
Is Pelosi using scare tactics on some of these Democrats who want to come to the middle and kind of threatening them, says, I won't put you on a committee, I will get you.
We have a problem within our party too, my party, the Republican Party, but she's got a real problem right now. You know, with the stimulus package, and then the so-called bipartisan infrastructure package. She's got people, the progressive caucus, the very liberal extreme caucus, they don't want to vote for this stuff because they don't want to vote for the infrastructure plan because they want to vote for the stimulus package first. And, you know, if you put them together, which they are really putting them together, it's $6 trillion. And then the moderates think it's too much money. There are about 9 to 10, maybe 12 moderates in that conference that don't want to vote for either one. Well, they'll vote for the infrastructure, but they won't vote for the reconciliation bill. And you know what we're doing, instead of, you know, Medicare Medicare is going to go broke if we don't fix it by 2026. And then yet we're adding hearing, under this bill. And I mean, who doesn't want to have hearing? But you got to pay for it. You got to protect Medicare. And they're adding possibly dental care and visual care.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you give people choices, a lot of folks, particularly in my district, they like Medicare Advantage, where they can purchase. They actually pay less, but they choose what the services might be.
Right.
Like preventative services, silver sneakers, to go to the gym. That's a great thing. Keeps you healthy. Not like they won't be healthy if they eat like me, but they
yeah,
eat normal,
for sure.
because I eat the Mediterranean diet and I eat the American diet. So,
You ate every diet possible that's out there, Gus. Don't lie to me.
But in any case, that's the key, is to live longer, and the healthy diet helps,
Mm-hmm.
but exercise, you really have to exercise. And so it's good to have these choices, and you have them already under Medicare Advantage, which frankly costs a little less.
Right.
But you got to have traditional Medicare too, because people might want to stay on traditional Medicare. But the idea is we've got to save the program for our future seniors like us, right, Basil?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Actually,
Speak for yourself, Gus. You're much
there.
older. You're much older than I am, Gus.
Yeah.
I am. I think I'm 27, 28. Just because I have a daughter that's older than I am doesn't really mean anything. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Okay, but getting back, is Governor DeSantis, is he doing everything he can? Because I really do want these ships. And it was kind of funny because JR's brother, Bam Davis, is sitting there. He's saying the ships can go through what is it? How many locks that they have to go through the Panama Canal? It's really crazy.
It's awful. DeSantis is doing the best he can. And DeSantis, in my opinion, is a straight shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He calls them like he sees them. Not everybody likes him. I agree with him on the mandates too. That we shouldn't have mandates. I was vaccinated. It should be a choice.
Agreed.
Some people don't want it, and they shouldn't have to have it if they don't want it. So we're having a real problem because if these mandates take effect, nurses are quitting.
Yeah. Police officers are quitting.
It's going to take care of our seniors in the nursing homes and the ALFs. But that's just one industry. Part of the problem with the trucking is, as you said, the unions get in the way in California, but people don't want to work. You've got to incentivize people to get back to work.
Agreed.
A lot of it has to do with COVID, and then also we gave out the unemployment benefits. Now, it was justified for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You have the state unemployment. Now in Florida, it's very low, and then of course we have the federal unemployment. And we were giving out the stimulus checks. Now the PPP program was excellent because it kept people working. And I think it was justified to a certain extent, the stimulus checks. Don't get me wrong, and the unemployment as well. But we got to get these people back to work.
Agreed.
Restaurants, they're having a hard time. I went to and then amusement parks. I went to Busch Gardens the other day, and they told me I didn't go to have a good time, Basil. I went to talk to them and see how I can be helpful, so they can create more jobs. But in any case, they have 450 job openings. Okay, and they're paying bonuses. They're paying higher bonuses for those that want to work in the kitchen.
Gus, are they requiring vaccines? Are they having to require vaccines? Is that why they're having a problem?
If you're over 100 employees, that's what's going to happen. Now, they're saying that maybe you can test every week or have the vaccine. It's kind of unclear, but in most cases, I believe they're going to have to require. They're mandated to. They don't want to, but they're mandated.
But a mandate is not a law. So
no, it's not a law. It's not a law, and I don't think it will become one. I think it would pass. The mandate would pass in the House, but not in the Senate. The mandate is not a law. You're correct. The agency, and I sent a letter out, that OSHA does not have the authority to do so because it is not a law. That's right. So we've got some serious problems on the border. I haven't even started there. The drugs that are coming in to the border, through the border. Fentanyl is killing our children. They're taking this stuff. It's laced. They lace it with marijuana. They don't know. These kids don't know. These are drug cartels bringing in these drugs, and they think that they're having a good time, and it's a killer. Fentanyl is a killer.
It is, and I'll tell you what, we're fortunate to have someone in the news industry because JR is actually a director of news for the ABC, CBS affiliates here in the Wilmington area, and he can tell you just about anything when it comes to all the drug busts and what's going on here in the greater Wilmington, southeastern North Carolina area.
Yeah, JR, listen. We need you. Thank God for you, and thank God for the local news. Because they get the word out. The local news, in my opinion, I live in the Tampa area, but they tell the truth. And now some people say, "No, that's not true," but they do. They get the word out, and but we got to do something about this addiction issue, particularly with the kids. And they're selling drugs on the streets, and again, not the kids. I'm talking about the drug dealers. With the drug cartels are bringing these, and then these poor kids from other countries, they're being basically, the parents are paying thousands of dollars to bring the kids to the United States. Well, these kids are so unhappy that they're away from their parents, and they're getting trafficked. I hate to be a downer. I really do hate to be a downer, but we do have some serious problems in this country. And we do have to work together and put the politics aside.
Basil, may I?
Yeah, of course, please.
Okay. And this is actually probably, I'm going to steal from Basil a little bit, but how do you reconcile the COVID concerns when we're allowing people into our country, speaking about the border, that don't have to have testing, and at the same time, the president says, well, I'm mandating if it's 100 or more employees that you do have to be actually vaccinated. How do you reconcile all that? And how does he reconcile it?
I don't know. But that's a very good point. And and the thing is, listen, I'm for legal immigration. Okay, that's how.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to make it easier for these good people to come over because they're productive, and they want to. Listen. I was in Greece, as I told you. My cousin has a degree in mathematics and in physics, and he's driving a cab. Okay, now things are getting a little better economically in Greece, but he's driving a cab. These people don't have opportunities. That's why they want to come to the United States, and they'll become great citizens. And I'm not saying that some of the people that are going over the border that don't want the same thing for their families. Okay, but you got to come in legally. And President Trump, as he said, he used that Remain in Mexico policy, where the hearings occurred in Mexico as opposed to the United States. Well, we're back now. There was a court ruling recently that says that the Biden administration has to use that policy. They're required to, but they're trying to get around it again. So when you have the hearing here in the U.S., they say come back in 4 or 5 months or whatever it is. You never see people coming back.
Of course not. No.
So the wall was working. But it's not built 100%. The Biden administration stopped the production, and in certain areas it works great. But all you have to do is walk around the wall and come in. And the Border Patrol agents are doing the best they can. We have to back them up. We got to back the police.
It's tough all the way around, Gus, to be quite honest with you. I mean, we see such an increase. I think we've had, I think the number was 1.2 million that have come across in the past 8 months. And listen,
those are the ones that they were counted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are ones where count. And what kills me is, and I would look at every Democrat who basically backs Biden and say, wait a minute, let me get this right. We're all concerned about COVID, every single one of us.
Of course.
Okay, every single one of us. But how can you say I'm for COVID? I'm going to close people down with 100 more people, and we're going to shut down your companies, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And at the same time, oh, it's okay, let everyone through. That's 1.2 million people that have come through. And how can you possibly sit there as a Democrat or anyone who supports it? Look, my father came to this country, as a Latreo. He came over. A Latreo means someone who immigrated here. Look, he wanted a better life like everyone does. And I can't blame these people. But for God's sakes, there's got to be some type of testing, vetting. You know how many they caught over in Panama? They caught, what, 65 or 60 known terrorists? They're trying to make their way up here that were vetted in Panama?
Well, it's not. You're exactly right. And most of these people, well, quite a few of these people are not actually from Mexico. They're just going through the border.
Right.
Because it's easy to get in. And, and then we have to support them and give them health care. They go to school. And listen, I think we need to bring back in Afghanistan. That was a big disaster.
Yeah.
But, we had a lot of people that worked with us over the years and saved American lives in Afghanistan, particularly the interpreters and their families.
Sure.
And we have an obligation to get them here, or at least not necessarily here, but in an area where they're going to be safe, a country they're going to be safe. But, however, they need to be vetted. They need to be vetted.
Sure.
And we're not vetting. So, COVID, listen, I encourage people to speak to their doctor, their personal doctor, not your Washington physician or, Mr. Fauci, what have you. Speak to your doctor, and the doctor knows your background.
But doctors are limited, Gus. Doctors are limited by their employers, because even if they want to do something, they are often, their hands seem to be tied. I've talked to my doctor, and her hands seem to be tied.
But does she recommend the vaccine for you? I mean, I don't know. You don't have to answer that question. but I'm just telling you that it's a personal decision.
I agree. But when you ask questions, they don't answer. They are very, let's say they're careful in their answers. Even when you provide them with factual data. I've sent studies and I get no response, and I'm positive it's because of the
they worry about the liability too. They're worried about the liability.
Sure.
Yeah, but they won't even talk about it. I mean, you should be able to ask your doctor those questions.
Yeah.
They won't answer.
I agree. I mean, we can do all the research we want, but we're not physicians. We're not medical experts.
Right. Sure. And you send them a study and say, well, this study says this. How come, why wouldn't I want it?
Well, a lot of times, the other thing is, Janice, this is unknown, and they don't always have the answers.
Oh, I agree. But when you send them legitimate facts from a journal, from one of their medical journals,
and
that's
it's like
reliable. I would say that's very reliable.
Yeah.
I think it's credible. There's no question. Yeah.
Right. No, I'm sending credible information.
Yeah.
And my feeling is they're fearful to say anything. And I'm going to change doctors because of it. Because if I can't rely on my doctor.
Well, talk to another doctor.
Yep. No, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, I spoke to my doctor. Of course, my brother's a physician, so I talked to him. And I got the vaccine, and I'm going to get the booster. Okay. I have pre-existing conditions, and I've had COVID, and the Regeneron works, folks. Okay, these therapeutics work in most cases, and I recommend them. If you're test positive, or if you had someone that tested a positive that you've been around for a good bit of time, then I would go get the therapeutics. But again, I'm not a physician. You speak to your doctor. But I'm living proof. I took I had COVID for 2 days. I had a hard time. I called and I got the Regeneron. And I know that's not the only one on the market. But let me just tell you, I'll attest to the fact that it worked. The next day, I was in good shape.
Yeah, good for you.
So, and they're offering this in the state of Florida, but all over the country. In the state of Florida, it's easily accessible, and people are getting it, and they're very pleased.
And Gus is not.
I heard that they were. I heard they were offering it here as well. Yeah.
You got to take it early.
And the other thing is too. I just want to make this point clear. That we here at the Pinch of Basile show, we're not telling you to do the therapeutics, and we're recommending go to your doctor first. Like Gus said, go to your doctor first. Ask about the various therapeutics that are available to make sure that you guys can go ahead. If you're a candidate for these various therapeutics that are available to you, that you guys can go ahead and do that. But look, I'm taking the booster too. You're essential. I travel, and I offer a service. So I say I'm offering a service, but who really knows what the hell?
You make people happy. Seriously, Basil, especially now, because we have a serious mental health issue. Okay.
Oh, what? And you're telling me this because of? Are you saying that I have mental issues?
Come on now.
He knows you, so of course he's saying.
You know what I mean. We have a serious mental health problem in this country. Okay, and a lot of it has to do with the depression, people staying home, and it's a very serious thing. I mean, with the kids, it's social media, but also not being around their friends and not going to, attending school. They have to do it virtually, and it has an effect on them.
Yeah.
But you make people happy, Basil. You make them smile. And that's very rewarding. Maybe not financially, but it is. And I don't know.
You got that right. Maybe not financially. Look at my house. This is my beautiful house. I got a curtain in the background, for God's sake.
You see what my place looks like in DC. I'm telling you, it's like indoor camping.
That's beautiful. As long as you don't have a Coleman little burner cooking the foods off of your little grill, you'll be all right.
Are you kidding? I go to McDonald's at 11 o'clock at night.
Well, they depend on you, Gus.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with it. Believe me, I'm very, very happy because I'm not going to the 7-Eleven. I've done that too.
I actually went out to dinner with Gus, and because we're going to be ending this show shortly, but I went out to dinner. He and his lovely wife, Ava, they wound up taking me. We were in Tarpon Springs. And by the way, Gus, I'm going to give you a buzz tomorrow because we got to talk about a couple of other little things. But we were in Tarpon, and he took me to this wonderful restaurant. And if you know me, my MO is the same thing. I want little, they're called smelts, these little fried smelts with horta, which are dandelion greens or spinach, with heavy olive oil, salt, pepper, and that's my meal. People like,
we're simple people, Basil.
We truly are.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to make us happy.
No, but I think I emptied out the ocean when I eat the smelts, to be quite honest with you. Oh, my gosh. Before we go, Gus, JR, I want to make sure you have any questions, brother.
I don't. I'm good.
Because I was telling you, Gus is one of the coolest people I know.
Thank you.
And he is a true... No, I'm being serious. And you are a true moderate. You are a Republican. You think conservatively, but you are moderate. You don't go way off to the right, and you would like to work with the left.
And I love everyone. So, I love everyone. And whether they agree with me or not. But you're right. We're losing the respect. And as a whole, the members of Congress and politicians as a whole. But we need people that really want to do it for the right reasons to stay.
Right.
And it's a sacrifice.
Sure.
But it's an honor to serve. That's for sure.
No, and you serve the wonderful people from your area of Tampa and of Palm Harbor and your entire base there. Send my love to everyone at your office. Janice, I don't know if you had any questions, last parting questions.
I'm good. Thank you very much, Gus.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. How you feel about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers down there?
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I'm so excited about that. And I had a chance to meet Brady, and he's put us on the map. He really has. But, all the sports teams. I mean, the Rays. I know they.
The Lightning.
The Lightning. I tell you, it wasn't always like this, JR.
No, I know for sure. Right, I'm a Cowboys fan, so yes, I know for sure.
A lot of fun.
Been a struggle down there for a while.
Oh my gosh, Gus! Listen, we love you, my brother, and thank you so much. I'll be giving you a buzz tomorrow. I love you. I'll talk to you. Tell Liz I said hello as well. Your chief of staff, and she's a good friend as well. And I want to thank you so much for being part of the Pinch of Basil show. And Gus, we're going to have you back on.
Whenever you want me, Basil. I never turn you down. You know that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And
you'll learn your lesson one day. Okay?
Yeah, sooner or later you'll come to your senses.
It's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Gus, we love you. We'll talk to you soon, my friend. God bless. Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Jen. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what a great guy. And I told you he's a moderate. He's not one of those guys, because I don't hang out with people like that who are way over, even though they might go more Republican, more conservative. It's not my style. So, I always tell people, listen, try to, drink from both wells, from both troughs. Go. Yeah, you can watch Fox. You can watch CNN. You can watch MSNBC. You could read, find out. And there's so much news going on Google, and they try to tell you, factual information. But where I go, and I'm telling this to all the people, I go to the Congressional Quarterly. You want to find out how someone voted on a certain bill? You want to read what the bill had inside? Read about it. Don't let it be interpreted to you. That's just the way it is. I love, some of the hate mail that we got this past year, Janice, right? I mean, some of this stuff was just, oh my God.
Because of the way you,
because we would sit there and they were like, oh my God, you're hateful. No, I'm not hateful.
But it's crazy. Yes, I vote Democrat, blah, 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 whatever, but it's not going to stop me from being on the show with you. It's not going to stop me from being respectful and cordial to a guest who's a congressman who is a Republican. Like, why would it's just so people just conversation period has just gone away.
Absolutely.
And
people
you're not
have lost
agree.
their way, JR. They've lost their way.
It's sad. It's so sad just seeing the way it is nowadays with people not being able to talk about anything.
Oh yeah.
Without having to not be friends about it anymore or just be ready to fight just because
family has broken up because I can't believe you're well, no, it's not that I like the individual. This is, and you and I talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I may not like a coach. I may not like my congressman. I may not like my president, but I'm a results-orientated individual. I've had agents who were idiots, but they got results. Okay? That's all I'm saying. You know people in your industry and have known people in the past where you've worked, where people will sit there, oh, he's an idiot. Yes, but you know what? He's really good at his job.
Right. The job done for you either way. Either way, how do you see it? Is the job done?
Absolutely. And for those who are watching right now, Maria, I want to say, Maria Nikozis Guling says she's a Lions fan. I'm sorry. Philip Yamalas. Phil, what's going on? Hey, he's a Pittsburgh. Zito Icaria, bravo. Let me see. We got Linda McCordy. Thank you, Linda. I love you, sweetheart. Manny Miliotis. Go, Manny. I love you, buddy. He's my drinking buddy and my cigar smoking buddy.
Hey, we might have to ban Miss Maria for posting that she's a Lions fan. Like, come on.
Well, listen, man. Look, just because they're 0-6, I think they're 0-6 right now.
They might be the first team to go 0-17.
They might be, but listen,
16 and 0-17.
as a Browns fan, I have been there. I don't want to. Yeah, don't even. Yeah, I know. Let me see, Louis Ali.
We got on these Cowboys. You know what I mean? My hand's heavy. Can't hold my hand up for all these rings we got as a Cowboy. So,
brother.
God, here we go. Here we go. Listen, you can't hold the box of all the championships that the Browns got. You know, okay, show was back in the 50s and 60s, but nonetheless, it was. Let me see. Abraham Antonakis, the Dolphins. Yeah, well, the Dolphins really sucked wind this past weekend, losing to Jacksonville. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who did a hell of a job winning that game in London. They did a hell of a job. Let me see. Leah, my Leah Hancock. I love Leah. She knew me when I was a baby.
Oh, wow.
Baby. And yeah, she's just a sweetheart and a half. I love her. Let me see. Manny Miliotis again. Nick Singelis. We got.
We plotting to get you, yo, because all this dolls talk with all my wrestling.
It's dolls. It's dolls.
Just wait. Hey, we're gonna have a wrestler on the show too. We're gonna book a wrestler. What you gonna do then?
I already gave you a wrestler your first show. You're the whole. This is you the whole time when I had Ken Sherlock. This is you. You ready?
I didn't know what to say. I was so starstruck.
I gave you the opportunity. You're like, beautiful. Okay, that's great. Let me see. Who else we got?
Raiders fan. We won't even talk about the Raiders with John Gruden and all, but you know.
When I called you up and
you got to tell the story.
All right, so I call up JR the day after Gruden stepped down, and I go really excited because I told you about that. I'm really excited because we're going to wind up getting Mike Ditka on. So I said, JR, he goes, what? I got some great news. He goes, what? Guess who I got coming on the show? He goes, who? I said, Gruden. He goes, what?
Would have been a great.
You're gonna love him, man. I laughed my ass off. I'm sorry, that was hysterical.
You did still win the game, man. Good point. We'll take a shot to that here in just a little bit.
Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, folks, I want to thank you all so very, very much for being part of the Pinch of Basil show. Again, October 20th, this has been one hell of a show with Congressman Gus Bilirakis, a good friend. We try to be the best damn podcast / radio / video show we got. On behalf of myself, Basil, my wonderful co-host, Janice Hermston, our engineer extraordinaire, a man who loves Gruden as a coach. J.R. Quitman, I love you all. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.